All right. So, hello everyone, and so my name's Brian Arrigo, and I am going to be curating Lisa Marie's course. And I wanted to chat with Lisa Marie about how that came about and what you found here on the web now that you've discovered this amazing course. Lisa Marie has agreed to chat and explain where where the course came from and where we are now and how it is that I've come to kind of move forward. So, Lisa Marie, I'm curious to know kind of all the way back to the beginning, how did you discover Rome and Tools for Thought and PKM in general? How do you discover that?
Yeah, I was doing a PhD in creative writing, and it was one of my first real forays into like proper academic writing. I'm a creative writer, and so the academic writing was more or less new to me. I mean, obviously, I'd done a master's course, but a PhD is quite significantly different. And so, as I was beginning my, 3, 4 year journey, and I was taking notes on books, I was scrambling and kind of looking out there for a solution to the analog premise of it all, right? I spoke to other academics and their feedback was, highlighting and tabbing books and keeping stacks of articles printed out. And I thought that would just about drive me insane. So I actually started thinking about and building a piece of software myself to handle what I had developed as my own note taking. And it was based on connection. So it's kind of like I didn't know Zettelkasten at that point, and I hadn't read h- Smart. What's the book? I've just
Okay, Aaron's How to Take Smart Notes.
How to Take Smart Notes. I didn't know any of that. I just knew that there must be a digital solution to this huge analog problem. And so I had actually spoken to a software company about building this idea that I had. And while I was doing that, I discovered Rome. And I can't remember how I discovered Rome, but it just was like dropping out of heaven for me. And it was everything that I wanted to build myself. And I never would have had the skills to have built, what Rome is now. But I would have cobbled together something that had worked specifically just for me. And so I started using Roam. It was brilliant. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. And as I was using it, I realized that I have certain skill sets that maybe other academic Roam users wouldn't have. My
Mm.
background is I'm an entrepreneur. So I've created, run, and sold my own business. I've also been a process engineer and a business systems analyst. So I had a lot of process experience and process skills. And I thought, I I wonder if academics are struggling with how to use Rome if they don't have that skill set. So as I was learning Rome myself, I just started taking notes about how Rome could be used for academic writing, not being an academic writer, but just doing it the way I was doing it. And then I thought, this would be a great course. So I actually ran it as a beta first. And then one of the people who was in the beta said to me, just release it as it is. It's fine. Get it out there. And so that's how magical academic note taking came to be. And I think it helped a lot of people. I hope it helped a lot of people. I got some really amazing feedback from folks, and I would have continued to do it. But after receiving my PhD, I went back almost completely to my creative writing, which I had missed a whole bunch. Even though I wrote a book for my PhD, I'd missed doing my regular creative writing. So I went back to creative writing, realized I wasn't going to be using Rome to the depth that I was using it when I wrote the course. And I had also started using Tana a little as well. And so I thought, I'm not going to be able to keep this up. I'm not going to have the insight and the practice and the usage to keep this course to where it should be. And so I would like for somebody else to take it over.
Mm. That's amazing. I I resonate completely with your falling out of the sky gift that you got from when Rome came out, because I had a similar experience, although I didn't have quite the pressing need. Um, I think I discovered Rome and the tools for thought community generally. Be, it was during the pandemic. I was just kind of holed up in my apartment, and something came up as a YouTube recommendation. uh, Google's algorithms thought that maybe I might be interested. And so I took a look at this and this is interesting. And then I kind of just fell down the rabbit hole. And then I discovered Bohan's book club,
Hmm.
how to take smart notes. And that's whenever I learned about Nicholas Luhmann and Zonka Aaron's book. And I just was completely taken with just how amazing the tool is and the writing environment and how different it had been from anything else I experienced. Um, when I was trying to figure out how to use it in a serious way, that's how I discovered your course. I think that your course was mentioned maybe in one of the book clubs. I
Hmm.
was a part of the book club group, kind of on the planning committee and then helping to run some of the book clubs as the row book clubs as they iterated and came out with new ones. And we always had this section for like recommended resources to go to for how to learn about Rome. And and a link to your course was put in there. And so then I made my way through your course. And when you were talking about your background in process design, to me that is probably the biggest value, or the thing that I appreciated the most from your course was not just the mechanics of implementing the process in row research, but the process of how to structure your workflows, or to how to structure your actual work in an academic environment with
Yeah.
the collect and the curate and the synthesize. And that you template that into the daily notes. And this is what you're doing at this place. And this is what you're doing at this place. And that to me was so helpful. Um, was not just how specifically to create the tags or the structure, but to how to put yourself in the mindset of this is what I'm doing right now.
Hmm.
And so that brings me to the last thing you were saying is your handoff and what you're looking for someone to maintain it. So the reason why I'm interested in doing it because I'm a librarian. I work in an academic library, and our mission, so to speak, is to try to assist people that have academic goals achieve those goals, kind of in the big picture. Um, in a library context, traditionally speaking, that's meant helping people to locate resources that are relevant to their research topic.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to expand that idea to include assistance with what comes next. So now you've got a pile of papers. What do I do with all that? And I think that academics struggle with that question because it's an enormously complicated question and there's not a clear answer out there about what to do. Um, this is where your course comes in. It's just, I really do think that it is an enormous gift to academics that are trying to struggle with that because you've been through the PhD. So when you go to your advisor, is there any help with how to structure your folders on your computer, where you're supposed to keep highlights and how to take notes? And, is any of that there?
No.
No. Right.
No, and my university actually had professional development courses about like how to write your thesis and things like that. And I went to quite a few of them, and I didn't find them very helpful. In general, they were very generalist and vague, and made the assumption that you already had research skills when
Yeah.
the point of the PhD is to teach you research skills.
Huh.
But,
Oh,
I know each PhD program is different in each country, but in the UK, there's no taught element of the PhD at all. It's you're just basically thrown to the wolves. So my supervisors were amazing with my topic and, giving me advice on my question and things like that. But when it came to the actual like nuts and bolts of how do I research something and how do I write a paper? there was really nothing. And had they given me advice, they were more, and this is not meant in any sort of negative way, more old school academics. So I think there is a place for technology in academia, and academia hasn't quite accepted that place yet. So I think that's why the tools for thought community is attracting so many young academics, because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this I get, this I understand. Whereas I tried to show some of the tools to my supervisors and other academics, and it was just no, why would I do it that way? Everyone has their own fixed process. So if you get academics early and you teach them how to develop their own personalized process using technology, they're in a much better position than if they go and they develop a process that then sticks to them and they're left behind because they're not using everything that's available.
Agreed. 100%. There's a similar thing that happens with undergraduates when you start and you go into your classes. There's not really like on day one, you don't go and have someone show you how to approach the courses that you're about to take.
Right.
Here's how you take notes in lecture. This is what you're paying attention to. Here's how you structure your study sessions. This is what works for you when it comes time to prepare for the exam, like study techniques. Instead, you come into class and then they just start talking to you and you have reading assignments and then you just sort of figure it out on your own. Um, and this what you're talking about now is a similar kind of thing for graduate students or really anyone that wants to write
Anyone.
a
Absolutely.
complex or any
Yeah.
writing that you want to do or learning, even if you're just capturing and ingesting information for personal goals, um, the structure can still apply there. So that's why I'm so excited to become curator for the course and to use this as a kind of foundation stone or a stepping stone for me to try to figure out how to build a PKM community locally designed specifically for undergraduates and graduate students. Um, and hopefully that can help them. And this is what I'm going to use for that. So that's why I'm really excited. One more something else I want to say about what our intentions are. So you had this course up for sale on your Teachable site. My intention is to keep this free and keep it open source. So in an ideal world, I will somehow find some success with creating a kind of use case or a proof of concept at my library.
Mhm.
Say we have done an innovation. We're going to teach personal knowledge management as a kind of library service or a skill set in an academic setting as a kind of academic support service. If I can make that work, then I would like to share this idea with other librarians and maybe spread the word. So I'll use your course as something that I can provide to other people too, as a resource to go to. And I'll also be sharing it with maybe faculty and maybe they'll also have a gift full from this guide from them and say, oh my
Yep.
God, this is amazing and all
Yep.
that. So that's my intention. Keep the course available for free. So if anyone finds it, feel free to share the link and pass the word. Um, what else should we talk about?
I'm absolutely thrilled that you're keeping it free. I mean, obviously, when I put out the offer to everyone who had taken the course already, I got quite a number of responses saying,
Yeah.
I want to sell your course because it was actually still selling at
Yeah.
the time I put out that request. And you came and said that you wanted to do it open source. And I thought, that's really what it should be at this point. There's a lot of work in that course, and it should be available to others now that I've refunded my own time. It should be available for free. I'm thrilled about that, which is why I obviously chose you, and also your brilliant idea of beginning these PKM communities in libraries. I think is such a great idea, and I'm obviously of the age where many of my friends have kids who are going to college, and I handed out the course to everyone I knew who had a kid going into undergrad, because I think if you get them in undergrad with this type of skill set, they're just gonna fly, you know?
Hmm. Beautiful. Yeah. So, um, I was sitting here in my apartment. I saw that email come out to you, and I was just like, this can't be real. I'm not even sure that it's real. And I almost didn't email you because I thought, it, she doesn't even know me, but she sent this to all of the students. So I'll just try. And then it sort of worked out. So, and I had this idea brewing about building a local PKM community as a library service for a while. So in some way, this was kind of already in my mind. And then you gave me a tool to open that door. So hopefully I can share this and I know that it's going to spread because uh, the PKM community and the tools for that community has kind of exploded all on its own, and people are just flocking to these tools and these workflows. And the first thing people usually encounter is the sense that I've got this extremely powerful tool in front of me, and I'm not sure I'm using it efficiently. What can I do with this? And then you start looking for resources. Um, so if there are any academics out there, anyone that's looking to build a local PKM community, and especially any librarians out there that are intrigued by this idea of starting personal knowledge management as a kind of library service, please reach out to me. You can just Google Brian Arrigo and library. I'm in Boston now. I'm at Simmons University. The course site, I'll have some information there about how to contact me. I'm looking for people that are interested in thinking about how to build up this service and kind of spread the word. And I would love to talk with anyone out there about your own adventures and share ideas about how to do this. So that'll all be in the course. And thank you so much, Lisa Marie, for the gift to the academic community, um, for your innovation here and helping people to orient themselves with these tools. I think that that's a huge gift, and it's really great that we can um, keep it alive. So
You're very
thanks so much.
welcome, and thank you for keeping it alive. And I cannot wait to hear how it goes, and I hope that it helps a ton of.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.